What's up guys, my name is Samantha and thank you for coming to my channel if you're new here, but if you're not new here, thanks for coming back. I'm just going to do a makeup video right now. Bear with me because the past few weeks trying to film videos has not been my thing. They've all come out bad and I just not really having fun doing it, but I wanted to film a video today about this viral TikTok filter that's been going around on TikTok, but it's actually from Instagram. It's just very distorting of your face and heavily contoured, very like IG baddie type of filter, and I wanted to try it out as an actual makeup video and see if I can like somewhat achieve that look. I don't know, but just to show you what I look like with it, I'm gonna put a picture of here what I look like with the filter on. Okay, so I put on my brows, my phone is right here, but I put on my brows and I can, because the filter doesn't put on the brows for you, but it puts on everything else, and I'm just kind of looking at what I look like. I think the big thing with this makeup is the eyes are a different color, and I'm not going to be putting in colored contacts, but I'm going to try to do everything else. This is the reference photo I'm going to use. I'm going to put it up right here and let's get started. I'm also going to try to make this as drugstore as possible, or as simple as possible, so that if you do want to achieve this look in some way, shape, or form, it's not super like out of the park expensive. I'm going to go in with the Milano Cream to Powder Foundation in the shade 292 or Caramel Brown. I'm going to go ahead and just use this. This is actually a Sigma contour brush, but it's just gonna work pretty well for what I'm going for right now, and I'm just packing it into this. And I'm using this brush. If you have a foundation brush, that would also work, but I don't want it to be too heavy, and using like a brush instead of a beauty blender or a sponge is just going to make it a little bit more natural looking instead of like packed on makeup. Let me tell you guys, I tried to do a makeup look yesterday and it was just not working out for your girl, that I literally cried over makeup, and I said, you know, it's just not gonna happen. And I wasn't gonna film today, but I do feel like I got this one in the back. And I've seen people talk about this filter on TikTok and how it is very damaging because it is so airbrushed and so contoured. But do not feel that you need to look like this in any way, shape, or form. This is just a fun makeup video. My next thing is going to be concealer. This concealer is so nice. I wish I could like do a whole review of like the whole e.l.f. Cosmetics new makeup line, but you know, coin, you know, don't have it. But this concealer is so nice. It is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I got mine in the shade Deep Olive, and it has like a satin finish, which is not going to be super dewy, and it's not going to be matte. It's like in the middle of dewy and matte. And I really like it. I have no complaints. I feel like this is a really good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which I like the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, but like I feel like it's very overhyped, but that's just me. Looking at the photo, try to see where it's highlighted, and I think right here, I'm only gonna put a little bit to start right here under my eyes. We're gonna go here, or definitely right here, and around the nose area. That looks okay. I wouldn't do my concealer like this, but it is what it is. I think the first brush I'm gonna go in with is this angled concealer detailer brush, the Santi angled concealer brush. It's really densely packed on top, so it's going to be really good to get in there, but any angled concealer brush would work. I think a sponge would also work, but since I don't want to move it around too much and I want to be very detailed with where I'm putting my concealer, I'm just going to use this. I would normally never put concealer here, but it looks like kind of highlighted in the around the nose area. I'm gonna take a little bit of this and bring it down the side of my nose as well, kind of stippling it down the side of my nose and kind of buff it out because I did put too much on. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of just foundation and buff it right here on the edge. Going in a nice circular motion, basically giving myself a nice concealer goatee. Usually I would not be okay with this amount of concealer. It's like a lot for me in particular. The lighting is different, I don't know why, but for this makeup, for the sake of this makeup, I think it'll work. If you are using a little angled brush, I would like to note you should be kind of just tapping lightly. Dragging it is just going to move around the product and move around your foundation product as well. So you don't want to do too much. And I'm going to bring this down my nose slightly. And then when you're like, ooh, wow, that's a lot. That is intense. Beauty blend. Your best friend. And take it and just blend it out, and this kind of just morphs it more into your skin. I believe that was the intention of a beauty blender anyway, was to like finish off your concealer application, not to already just blend out your makeup as a first step blending tool. But I could be wrong. I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit of seconds just so I can go with the Huda Beauty Contour and Tantour bronzer cream. I'm using the shade Medium. Hit pan, hit the bottom of the barrel, and I'm gonna go in with this Shayna B Miami angled contour brush. This is the contour brush I love. I love it, I love it, I love it. And we're just gonna start the contouring process. And bronzer a lot on the apples of your cheeks, I feel. So I'm gonna start it at the apples of my cheeks and bring it back. And I'm just tapping this brush and bringing it up as well. And kind of towards the center of your forehead. But if this becomes how I do my makeup from now on. We're gonna go ahead and powder really fast. I wanna get that under eye set and down. That was not a drugstore product. I'm gonna go in with the CoverGirl True Blend Minerals Loose Mineral Powder in the shade 400 Tan. I really like this one. Airspun would also work. I'm gonna use a Sigma large powder brush. It's a F30 large powder brush, and tapping it in there. I'm gonna use a heavy amount, like a medium amount. It's gonna be a coated brush. While this powder is sitting, I'm gonna go ahead and just hit a quick little contour. You can use a darker concealer. The e.l.f. Cosmetics has some darker concealers like the one I just used, and you can use that to contour and bronze your face. I unfortunately don't have mine anymore, and I'm going to try to find something that I can use. I don't have any drugstore contouring items, so I'm just going to use my Fenty matchstick in Espresso. This is my absolute favorite one. It has not failed me. As you can see, I am at the bottom, like it won't go up any more than this. And I'm just gonna put my contour right where I put my concealer. I'm trying to stay up high on my cheekbones. I have a round face, so I like to go up high and kind of curve around my cheekbones in like an upwards motion on both sides of my Cupid's bow, where I put that middle concealer, put it right under my lip to make my bottom lip bigger. The nose contour, I'm gonna wait for a second. I'm gonna put this right around the forehead, like in this kind of motion. And we're gonna start with this. I don't like to put this on my nose like this. I like to use a little brush because it is a little bit more precise. I'm blending out around, I guess, that little dip in your lip. I don't think that's a Cupid's bow, and it might be a part of it. It makes it a little bit more prominent and really getting in there. This brush still has a bronzer on it and kind of smiling. It's a lot of bronzer, but it'll work. And if at any moment you don't like where you place something, obviously you can just tap it out. That is my favorite thing to do ever. I kind of want to get a little bit closer to that eye area and blend it up a little bit more and around. So one more thing I'm going to do to the lip line. Just put it here and bring it up. For some reason, just pulls up the lip a little bit more and gives it like a poutier look. Let me go ahead and finish contouring and blending out my contour, and then I will be back. And brushing off the powder kind of makes everything blend a little bit better. Brush off all the powder on your face and on your nose, and we're gonna get into that. Okay, for my nose contour, I'm gonna use this foundation brush. If I had like a little skinny angled concealer brush, that's what I would use for my nose, but I don't right now. That is clean, so I'm going to use this. It works really well. I'm just going to go in the tip of the brush and get some of my contour product. I'm just going to start from up here. I'm going to try to show you guys really well and kind of just follow the curve of my nose down like that. Easy peasy. But you really want to start up high near the brow bone and then follow it down. And when it gets to here, right to the curve of my nose, I'm bringing it in a little bit. And right under my brow bone. So it kind of elongates my nose, but also cinches it in right here. I'm going to do that to the other side. And I'm going to go for a little more. I want a heavily contoured nose. Alright, so I'm going to just put it on this brush directly. I'm going right where I just want a little bit more definition. Down my nose. And I'm going to go in with this brush and kind of just go around any area. I'm going to go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in Berry Adore, and I'm going to go for that berry shade. Maybe a little tiny bit of this peach shade, I think, but very lightly. And I'm going to go right here at the top of my contour. I'm not gonna put it on my nose. No ma'am. Not the nose at all. To set, I think that I want to set this contour with a little tiny bit of powder. A little tiny bit. Vibes, and when I say powder, I mean eyeshadow. Because I don't have a deep enough one. I'm just gonna go in with this darkest one. Right here. Nope, this one right here. The one I've hit pan on, and I'm gonna go in with it lightly because it's really pigmented for this. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, baby. If anyone knows any good drugstore powder contouring items, let me know. But I feel like eyeshadow is just something that works for a multitude of purposes. Using more powder. This is why I would never do this makeup tutorial in real life. Like, I would never put this much powder and this much contour and this much anything on my face ever. I'm gonna go from here to here and go make a line with that same powder I used. I'm not gonna let it sit for too long. I'm just gonna run it off, brush it off, brush it off. The next thing I'm gonna do is eyes, and it literally just looks like a nice brown shadow. The drugstore-ish priced palette that I have is from Morphe, just because I'm gonna go into this shade right here. It's like an auburny, deep chocolatey brown shade. One thing I hate about Morphe palettes is that they don't have a mirror up here. Put this all over. I'm kind of making sure that it is angled. You can also, a little like kind of, I guess an almondy shape eyeshadow. Not super angled, but not super round. Bam. You could literally just leave it like that. Also, this is a Morphe M433 brush. If the brushes help you in any way. I don't know if they help you guys. This seems to be the only shade that's used. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of this and just kind of take it on my bottom lash line. Taking it right under, right on that lash line. You could go in with something a little darker on the outside, so I'm going to use that same shade that I used, that really deep chocolatey shade, to finish off the contour. For this, I'm going to just do like a little bit extra, just this shade right here that I hit pan on, very, very lightly on this outer portion of my eye, kind of making a mock wing. And I'm going to take that same shade right here under, not all the way, mostly concentrated right here. I feel like that looks okay. I'm going to go for it. Same thing over here, mock wing. When I say mock wing, it's just like putting it on the outer corner of your eye. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Liquid Liner in Ultra Black. It looks like this. It's all black and it's really nice. It has a felt tip pen. It works very well. It's kind of like a cat eye. Taking it from that outer edge, not too long, and then line your whole upper liner. So on this photo, there's no fox wing. It's more just like a cat eye type thing, but I want it to be a little bit more on the boxy. I think that's gonna pull it all together. I'm gonna use these Eyelure Lashes. Ooh, okay, they look like this. Okay, I have one lash on and kind of curl the back part upwards, more towards in the shape of like a wing a little bit. Now I'm gonna top it with just a little bit of liner to cover the band up a little bit. And yeah. I'm gonna go for lips now. We can kind of see how the shape is right now. Use a little angled brush for precision. Corners of, I'm gonna put this on my hand actually. The corners of your lip. Straight down, both sides. Just cleaning anything up. We're kind of making it more so the shape that we want it to be. Again, using the same concealer brush. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of this, put it on my finger like that, and kind of tap it onto my lips. You can kind of rub. We're gonna go back to this palette. Go into this top shimmery shade right here. It like hit pan. I don't know if you can see it at all. And we're gonna go into the eye, put it right on top of, like directly on top of where you put your inner liner, if you did inner liner, not on top of it so it mask it, but like above is the word of the day. Above where you put it, and it'll just highlight like a little bit. I'm gonna put the same thing on my nose because I think it's like a pretty shade. putting it right here and nicely right down the nose like that. To make it a little bit tiny more snatched, I would personally go in with a little bit of a black shadow and bring that along the bottom lash line. I'm not going to bring it all the way across because I don't want my eyes to look any smaller right now. And you can also put this on your lips to make your lip line a little more distinct if you would like. Alright, that's it. That's all I got. I feel like I kind of did a good job. Now, like, picture me with, like, blue contacts. I feel like the blue contacts are really what makes you look kind of like a different person because your eye color is different, but I feel like the makeup is just heavy contouring. But that is all I got today, guys. I think it turned out pretty well. Do I look like the picture? No. On the eye color alone, I think I just look different because I have dark brown eyes, and this is like hazel, like light blue, like a grayish blue color eye. So if I had contacts in, I do feel like I would look different. However, contacts scare me. Scared of putting things in my eyes. So I probably just would never do it. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to follow, like, and comment down below. Let me know what else you would like to see from me. I really enjoyed this. I feel like I might be getting back on my groove, but if there's like videos on a different topic or a different style that you would like me to do, please let me know and I will try my best to get that done. Thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you soon.